Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group. What I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the 2024 Nissan Armada. So we'll look at the interior, the exterior, some of the options that are available, and see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 24 Nissan Armada, and this is the Platinum trim. So this is going to be the top of the 3 trim levels. There's lots of really great equipment in here. One of my favorite things, we've always got our cell phones with us. So this is going to have wireless charging with a little cubby here, and I've got wireless Apple CarPlay as well. You can use wireless Android Auto. So that is a really cool feature. We'll dive into that a little bit later, but for now, let's put it in drive, go for a spin around. So let's start with the powertrain. Now the Nissan Armada only comes with one engine, and it is going to be the Endurance V8. So what does that mean? I've got 400 horsepower on tap, and I can tow 8,500 pounds. That's actually more than the Chevy Suburban, which is pretty impressive. And if you've got the big boat, you're going to the lake for the weekend, makes it really easy to hook everything up. I've got my brake controller in here, and it's pretty cool. Now from there on the exterior, this Platinum does ride on the 22-inch wheels. So it's a really good looking wheel. It's kind of a titanium finish to it. It matches very nicely with this red exterior, as this is one of the optional paint colors, but I think it's worth the about $400 upgrade because it looks pretty awesome. Now, a few other things on the exterior. This one will get the running boards on the side. So if you got the little kids jumping into the back, that does make it pretty convenient. And you've got the roof rack rails up above. So if you're going to the mountain for the weekend, going skiing, anything like that, it does make it convenient to throw the roof box up there. Maybe you can put the mountain bikes on top. That is a pretty convenient feature as well. Now this does get the 7-speed automatic transmission. There is only the one transmission, but it's very smooth and quiet when you're out on the road. I've been cruising around today, and I've actually found myself to really be enjoying and be very impressed at just how quiet it is. I expected a little bit more noise, especially with the V8, but you know, compared to a lot of stuff that's now got the turbocharged 4 cylinders or 6 cylinders, this V8 is very smooth at idle, and it just kind of hums along when you're cruising down the highway. Now inside the Armada, obviously if you are looking for a large vehicle, you're probably looking for the third row capabilities. This has some pretty stiff competition. Now it is a pretty big SUV, but it doesn't drive like a huge SUV. I like the steering feel behind the wheel. I like the seated position. I'm up nice and high. There's not huge blind spots in here. The mirrors are more than capable of seeing what's going on, and you've got blind spot monitoring. You've got emergency braking front and rear, and as well you've got adaptive cruise control. So I can set that right here on the steering wheel. 3, 2, 1 car length distances ahead of me. Like I said, if you're going up to the cabin for the weekend, that is a great feature. Or if you're just doing a lot of highway driving, it's definitely going to take a peace of mind off and just make it really easy to cruise. So inside again in the driver's seat, let's kind of start here. Like I said, wireless Apple CarPlay. So I've got text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify, and this screen is extremely responsive. Some of the newer screens today can even be a little laggy. This one, you don't get any of that. You swipe, it goes where you want it to go. You can set your Google Maps to what you need to be looking for or where you're headed, and that is pretty cool. Then on the other side, if you are a true Minnesotan, you know how much we love talking about the weather. You can set to see the forecast for the day, the 5-day forecast. You can set the compass in there. There's a whole bunch of ways you can configure the screen to show you what you'd like. But like I said, as a Minnesotan, I want to know the 5-day forecast, so I've got that set. Another pretty cool thing on this 12.3-inch display is the backup camera. So you can click the camera button at any time, and that's going to pull up the forward-facing, side-facing, rear view. Maybe the kids left some stuff in the driveway. Maybe you got a tight parking spot. That is a pretty cool feature that definitely makes it easier because, again, it is a large SUV, so to see what's going on around you is awesome. Now this does get the dual zone climate control as well. There is a third zone for the second row. So they can pick their own temperature back there. You can turn that on and off. But one of the best things, this has the heated and it has the ventilated seats. So that's gonna be for the driver and the passenger, heated, ventilated. And then the second row is also gonna be heated. Plus you've got the heated steering wheel. Absolutely one of my favorite features when winter comes rolling around, when your hands are warm, the vehicle's warm, it's actually got the remote start built into the key fob, so you can fire it up. I think it runs for about 10 minutes. It'll be nice and toasty when you hop in. So a few other things just from the driver's seat here, you do have the digital gauge cluster. So you can kind of see your pertinent information in there, some of your safety stuff, that Safety Shield 360 you can go through. And if you don't want some of that equipment, you can simply just click the button and turn it off. You can go right into the screen. If you don't want all those kind of nannies helping you out, you can turn it off. So that's something that, you know, you might want to leave on if it's you and the family in the vehicle, but if something's annoying you, you don't like it, click the button and it's gone. But speaking of family, what about that second and third row? Now, there's two different options for the second row in the Armada. You can do the bench seat or you can do the captain's seat. So it's either an 8-passenger or a 7-passenger vehicle. Now, this particular one has the bench seats, super convenient. There's a little handle, you can pull with just one hand, flips it basically almost for you, and then the third row is actually going to be power. So if you want to flip the second row up, fold that third row down, you get a huge cargo area back there. But if you're hauling the kids and all their friends along, you can click the button again. That third row is both folding down and it will come back up power. And then the second row, you can just push it, clip it back up, and it makes it pretty convenient. But in the third row, there's a lot of headroom back there. I'm 6'1", I could crawl back there. It gets a little tighter on knee space, but you know, if you got the little kids back there, they're gonna be happy. And then everyone in the second row, you can actually slide those seats, you can recline them a little bit, so everybody can kind of figure out where they wanna be and be comfortable. Now, along with that second row, you've also, like I said, got the heated seats, the climate control, and there is a few different charging ports down below. So if you're going on those long road trips, everybody can keep everything juiced up and be nice and quiet and comfortable when you're back there. Now, this one, the sound system, I was actually blown away at how good it sounds. I had my Spotify hooked up, I was jamming some tunes, you can put on a podcast, and it is a crisp, very clear audio system. And I was pretty impressed for this price point of just, I mean, all the equipment, the luxury, the features, all that really cool stuff you're getting, and even the little things like the center console here. If you're driving, you want to be paying attention and someone needs something from the back, you can actually click this little button and it's going to flip the center console forward and people can access, maybe grab a piece of gum, some batteries, whatever they're looking for. That was pretty cool. So now back up to the front row here. Like I said, this has got the brake controller and the USB charging, but then just below that, you've actually got the 4-wheel drive select. And then you can switch between a snow mode, tow haul mode, or the auto 4-wheel. I don't assume a lot of people are going to be going heavy off-roading with this vehicle, but if you did find yourself in a pickle or in those winter conditions, I think this is going to be more than capable of getting you through that. There's just something about the Armada that sometimes you could hop into a vehicle and it doesn't feel like the build quality is the best, or it's not going to last forever. That is the complete opposite with this Armada. I feel like it would outlive me. It's just got that solid feel to it, and the V8 is definitely tried and true in this vehicle. Yes, the fuel economy isn't the greatest, especially with the all-wheel drive. It cuts 1 mpg from the front wheel to the all-wheel, so you'd be looking at about 18 or 19 on the highway. So it's not great, but it is a body-on-frame design. It's a little more old school, and maybe that's something you like. I mean, having the feeling that this thing could outlive me definitely can help sway maybe your decision in looking for something. If you don't want the turbocharged engines, you want something that just, put your foot down and go, the Armada certainly delivers on that front. Not to mention the luxury, the quilted leather seats, the wireless Apple CarPlay, the nice quiet interior. I mean, I could easily daily drive this car and you just cruise along, just enjoying the day. I mean, with the ventilated seats going when it's hot like it is today, there's so much good stuff about this vehicle. And yes, the price point is a little bit more, but if you're looking at the Infiniti, which is basically the same thing, this seems like a bargain. Now, the MSRP on this one is right around $75,000. So again, this is the Platinum. So this is going to be the top trim, the upgraded paint on this one. So there is a few different options, but if you want to cut that price down, or even right now, they're selling under MSRP. So you're getting a vehicle for maybe the mid to high 60s, which if you're looking at the competition, that's a lot of vehicle for the money. I think the average new car price is about $48,000. So if you're looking at maybe the base trim in the Armada, you're going to be pretty close or just a little over on that. So you're still getting a lot of the same equipment. Maybe things like the wireless Apple CarPlay or some of the interior features. A lot of stuff does follow with, but I think if you're shopping for maybe a Suburban or one of the Jeep Grand Cherokee L's or even a big Escalade, this is gonna have great towing capacity, a ton of luxury equipment, all that good stuff. I think you absolutely gotta get out, take one of these for a spin and see what you think. Now, that was just a look and drive in the new 24 Armada. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by any one of our Nissan locations. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks for watching.